Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Connie.
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Thank you for carving out some time for this discussion today. I know you're busy and we want to make the most of out of our 20 minutes together. Um, from our information before, we've asked to revisit pricing, specifically a 10% reduction in exchange for the volume you plan to deliver over the next 5 years. Our goal here isn't just to talk numbers, it's to step back and look how we can continue to support you while ensuring a partnership between Constanello and Benes is sustainable as you grow. Here's how we'll use our time. I'll guide the flow. Tyler will walk through the cost data we prepared, and Mike will highlight how we can make execution easier for your team in the field.
So, are you willing to give me the 10% off or not?
That's what we're here for today. From our preparation, we believe your priorities are reliable supply and proactive service, competitive pricing, a partner who can help reduce risk as you scale. And we see concerns from rising interest rates, limited management bandwidth, and gross possibility outpacing control. Does that sound accurate?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tyler.
Connie, do you value efficiency, accuracy, and staying on timeline with your projects?
Of course. Who doesn't?
Yeah. How about in regards to your own personnel and the way your team operates on the job in the field?
Um, yeah, as long as I get the job done within the time frame, that's what I'm looking for.
Perfect. We totally agree. The current situation as we see it, your company operates at a high volume and obviously creates high demand. Currently, the coordinated effort between our two companies we find creates some inefficiencies that we believe, if improved upon, could greatly benefit the both of us.
Okay.
Um, the behavior in particular that we're seeing that poses these difficulties are excessive deliveries, excessive quoting, high return percentages, and payment terms. These impact us by adding on additional hidden costs that, if alleviated, could allow us some leeway to extend additional discounts to you and your team. Can I break these down for you in greater detail?
Yeah, I'd like to see what you've got.
Awesome. So the first point that we kind of came across were deliveries. We're seeing over the last 10 communities you guys have completed about 7.3 actual deliveries with over two hotshots, which were non-contracted for, um, as opposed to the three plane deliveries that were contracted for. These are coming in at about 49 miles per delivery. We have an internal cost of about $6 per mile. So that means we've been absorbing about $2,100 in cost that we haven't been extending to you guys. We've been shielding you from that for every single job that we're doing. Um, on the flip side, it's an inefficiency I feel like for you and your team, your operations, could result in more time wasted on site by your crew. So many deliveries, they're always waiting for more material. It slows down production and process on your side. Um, in conjunction with that, excessive quoting, we're seeing about 10 and a half quotes per job and a little over five special orders. Special orders are great, quotes are great, but it has a hard cost associated with Colby's time, putting the quotes together, and our internal team and processing and getting things done. Um, on the flip side, for you, it might also pose an inefficiency because it can lead to confusion, errors, miscommunications, so many quotes flying back and forth, could have some serious pending impacts on timeline for the job site. So we feel like those two things, if we could consolidate, clean them up, maybe reduce the quantity on them, we'll be able to not only improve timeline and efficiency for you in the field, but also pull back some costs that are preventing us from being able to benefit you with upfront savings. On the flip side, we're also seeing too returns. Um, Returns are exceeding 1.5%. We're looking at about 3.8% on average across all 10 communities. We're currently waiving restocking fees and we're not charging to go out there and pick up the material. So that's a saving that we're shielding you from right now. And these returns are kind of the result of inefficient quoting. There's room for improved efficiency on our side and on your side that we think could also benefit you by allowing you to have a better grasp on the numbers, the true costs associated with your builds, helping you to better project your cost of operation. Last one we're seeing that really is another one are payment terms. You're always paying. We see the payments, they come in, but they just come in a bit late. So these are preventing us from reinvesting in the services that we feel you need in order to operate at maximum efficiency and for us to be able to serve you. We're also waiving currently the 2% surcharges associated with credit card fees. So none of these things are meant to be confrontational points. We really just want to highlight the areas where making these changes might be mutually beneficial for you and allow us to help your bottom line. I think Mike also has a few other insights he'd like to share.
Hey, Connie. So I heard during this meeting you like to discuss cabinets, correct?
Um, sure. I'm always willing
Yep.
to
Yep.
discuss cabinets.
Well, I feel like we'll be able to deliver more to you if we can package those as well with as with windows and doors. I see that you want to double your production in the next 5 years, which is great. But I feel like that kind of growth will be difficult to achieve if you're dealing with fragmented suppliers. Packaging these categories builds a foundation that you can scale with a predictable supply, fewer bottlenecks, and a partner that grows with you. When cabinets, doors, and windows are spread across different vendors, every mismeasurement or late truck turns into finger pointing. If we package all these categories with us, you have one accountable partner, one phone call, one schedule, and one standard. I know that also you are very insistent on in-person meetings, and I know if you're separating those with 3, 4 different vendors, that's going to be very difficult and very time consuming. And I feel like we can save hours and hours for your company with just one supplier. And I think POs will be a lot easier to cut with us as well.
Colby?
Oh, I like to meet in person. I get much more done than over the phone.
Yep.
And I like to develop a good relationship between the companies.
Yeah, but that's a relationship that we would love to have with you, and we feel like we can make your life easier if those in-person meetings are purely with one supplier and one connection, make your company benefit.
All right. You mentioned cabinetry, but if I bring my cabinets to you, what do I get in return?
So that's what we're here to talk about. If we were able to do millworks, cabinets, say doors, windows, we'd be able to work with a cut, not quite 10%, just from what Mike has gone over with the absorbed cost. It's just not sustainable, and it doesn't reduce your risk to cost of build. So we're trying to suggest a smarter framework, one that prevents hidden costs from repeating and protects your growth. Um, we're willing to look at a percentage costs. We're about maybe around 6%, but that's, we have some items we would like to definitely lock in, and that would be, millwork, cabinets, and doors, etc.
Well, I already give you my millworks, my interior doors and framing, lumber and roofing. And I was planning on moving my exterior doors to your company just because right now I took it away 18 months ago and now they're costing me more. So I can definitely see some cost savings by moving the exterior doors back to your company.
Yes,
Yeah,
and that would definitely be beneficial on both parties. That way, we'll be able to help you with the percentage with your lumber for the projects coming up with over the next 5 years as well.
we'd also like to ask for a chance at your window business as well. We're currently not quoting windows. We're not getting window business. If we can really incorporate that into the total package of services that we're providing you, it really gives us more room to move that percentage discount in your favor.
All right. Well, I'm looking at, you know, uh, give me, give me some quotes so I can compare them, and then I'm willing to look at including that in the package.
Absolutely, yeah. Mike will jump on that first thing tomorrow morning. We'll get you some numbers together so you can see where we're at. If you can compare to what you're buying now, we can work further numbers that way as well.
Connie, did anything that I spoke about, deliveries, quoting, consolidation, did you have any qualms with any of those things? We're proposing instead of the three that we were contracted to do, and we're seeing the overages 7%, two hot shots, same day deliveries. We're proposing 6% on the discount, but we'd also like to contract for sticking to those deliveries. So Maybe instead of 3, we contract for 4 deliveries, keep it to a minimum. Maybe we include 1 hot shot. Some stuff to really kind of consolidate and keep our costs that we're absorbing on the internal end at a minimum. Allows us to better extend that discount and to service you. Do you have any issues with maybe negotiating
Well,
delivery
I mean,
rates?
I'd love to lower the number of deliveries. You know, I'm glad you brought that back up. Um, how are you proposing on helping me out with that?
So Colby is a great asset to you in that regard. Being on site, meeting with your project managers. It's also a coordinated effort too with the guys' internal team on yours, doing quotes. If we can really get the bulk of the material needed, if we get the layout, the plans, work with those teams inside for you up front at the start of the project, really helps us to coordinate with the framers and kind of plan out procedurally what we're doing instead of kind of being more reactive. If we could be more proactive, we can really minimize those returns. Those returns too, actually, if we're planning and coordinating better earlier on, helps to reduce deliveries, quote count, and returns. So kind of a benefit for both. Helps you
Yeah.
operate a bit more efficiently and helps us
Mhm.
reduce the travel time and the back and forth we're doing.
Well, with these new developments that I'm coming up on in the next couple years, there's a limited number of plans, so we should be able to tighten our scope a lot more. Um, and that in turn will reduce the deliveries because we'll be more accurate with our estimating.
Perfect. That sounds great. Um, Payment terms. I know it's a big one. It's an important one. Um, do you have any qualms with negotiating, say, a net 30 as opposed to the net 45 that you're doing, paying more on time? Is there anything we can do to work on that?
Well, you know, you really haven't asked me about, you know, any kind of payment in the last year. I don't know why are you doing that now?
Because cash flow is important to us to be able to provide these discounts and to extend these services to you. We can really invest in internally in these efficiencies. And we really can't do that if payments are slow and also bundled with a 2% credit card fee that we're waiving for you. But if we can entice you with checks and waiving that credit card, not using credit cards, that would more greatly influence our ability to extend discounts and savings to
Well,
you.
I like the credit cards because I'm using the points for other things, like, you know, got to take a vacation now and then.
Colby, how about what we talked about the concession we had for that one?
So we're talking, we can keep it at net 4.5, but we are going to bring back the credit card percent charges. And we wouldn't be able to waive them if we're going to start bringing down a overall percent on lumber material. We have options.
So we understand, yeah, that you prefer the credit card points, but to incentivize you to try to move to checks as opposed to credit cards, we were thinking, how does a 60-day price lock on material sound to you? So we'll absorb the market volatility in exchange for you paying not with the credit cards.
Well, I mean, you've never charged me a credit card fee now, you know, before. Why do it now? Because that's just lowering. I need a 10% reduction. I don't need to add credit card fees.
No, we understand, and we're trying to extend that 10%, but that's one of the things that's holding us back from being able to climb back to those points. So 10% is if we keep operating the way we're operating and we make no changes, we can't offer 10%. That's why we're kind of trying to work through some of these changes. If you go to Lattimore or any other suppliers, they're already instituting a 2% credit card charge fee. We're doing you the favor by not. So we're kind of just getting on the same level as those guys right now, and we would really like to try to extend other savings to you in the form of service and quality, but we can't do that with those continued charges. So I think that 60-day locked in price would probably be a pretty nice guarantee that we're willing to offer that they probably not. I don't know if that has any interest to you.
It is definitely an interest. You're so you want to have me pay cash or check versus credit cards. And then also change the way I'm paying. the amount of time between invoicing and payment?
Is one of those more agreeable to you than the other?
Well, neither is agreeable, but it doesn't sound like I have much choice.
What would be what would be better for you? I know you want the 10. We're coming in at 6. With those agreements, I mean, we can do 6.5, keeping those agreements, maybe, yeah, 6.5, 7, possibly, to be able to
Um,
get
I mean,
to work.
I will work on reducing the amount of time for payment. Um, Remind me again what the contract says.
Tyler, do you have that?
So I'm sorry. What we're proposing is, yes, we're proposing, instead of net 45, we're proposing net 30, paying more readily, more scheduled on time. And if you can make the change from credit card to ACH, we would love to do that, and we would incentivize that with a 60-day price lock against market volatility. Um, our proposal for you, yeah, 6% discount. We're looking to consolidate deliveries, so 4 deliveries, one hot shot, consolidate the number of quotes, and reduce, in effect, the amount of returns. If we can agree to those terms, payment is another important one, but we like to lock down those ones first. Um,
I'm okay with that, but can you price lock for a whole year?
we can't price lock for an entire year. Maybe as the volume increases and as payment terms become agreeable and more readily uh, instituted, maybe we could try to extend pricing lock for a bit longer, but we'd have to see conditional on the volume of the business and the work and on getting those windows and the full scope of the material. It would allow us more room to be able to negotiate that down the line. But without having the full book of business or without having all those other agreed upon things to start, this is where we're opening up. And as we build that trust, we'd be open to negotiating something like that down the line potentially.
All right.
That sounds
Well,
fair.
I'm definitely interested in that.
And you did mention that you're looking to decrease the number of deliveries, which will also be a beneficial to work getting at that price point you're looking for.
Some of the things that I mentioned was that there are only so many models to build. So that's gonna, as we build more, we're gonna be better at estimating. I mean,
Yep.
is there anything that you can help me with along that line to decrease our deliveries?
Yeah, absolutely. Like Mike had talked earlier, I would love to be on site multiple times a week. If you have a production meeting or a project management meeting, I would like to be part of that. That way, I'm in the know, I'm on top of your projects, and I can be firsthand bringing that back to our area and making sure everything is dropped properly um, per build on that.
Okay, well, that sounds like a good idea. So you're going to be out there all the time?
I mean, I would love to be there at least 2 times a week, keeping up on top of all the projects. Definitely at your production meetings. If you have a Monday morning or, a Friday afternoon production meeting, I would love to be part of that with your
Sure,
project
sure.
PMs and yourself.
I can understand why you want to do that. That'll definitely decrease the number of deliveries.
Absolutely. And to keep quotes down, we won't have any mistakes. We can get rid of hot shots because we'll have everything on the scheduled deliveries as well. That would be a big savings on
Hmm.
both ends.
Hmm. Yeah, I want to continue along the lines of the quality that my husband had for this business. He built a great house, and I want to continue that. So uh, I want to work with you, and so that we're both successful.
Perfect. So how about we'll draft the framework this week, consolidate deliveries, quotes Monday, and I'll continue being out in service twice a week. and make sure projects stay ahead.
Were you
All right.
open to another meeting, Connie? Because we didn't really hash out all the exact details of this and really to hit home some of those hard lines once we draft the actual proposal. Are you able to meet next week, say Wednesday, same time?
Sure.
Perfect.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Got
Connie.
it.